Now fiddle again, and hello, it's Vo, and welcome back to Turbine City. Last time we'd sort of planned out this area along our seafront. Got a couple of assets I want to pop in. One of them is the offshore oil rig for the oil industry DLC stuff. And the other one is the Sea Life Centre for the Park Life Zoo stuff. So hopefully the area that we've made is going to be sufficient and we can fit both these things in. Obviously we'll need a couple of other assets to go along with them. I like to think we've left ourselves enough room along here. I'm just moving the road back a little bit and straightening it up. Sort of maximising the space we've got down here on the flat land. Tidying things up, evening out the hills. That looks a little bit better. Try and bring this node down a little bit. That's a little bit better. It's not quite the smoothest of slopes, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Just want to make sure there's plenty of clearance going underneath the railway. It's not a really drastic slope. I think that's fine. I'm going to upgrade all these connector roads, or downgrade them to medium roads, just so if we do want to put in more roads, expand out right the way down to the seaside, down to the quay. And we can just use small roads everywhere. Makes sense, this is down at the end of the chain of our road network. Maybe fit in a little bit more housing if we pop in a few roads here. We can just have offices or commercial right next to the railway line. Our population's just about evened out. There's not much growth happening. Maybe fit in a little bit more residential before we have to go and purchase a new tile. Smooth out all these slopes. Make sure everything's nice and gentle. Obviously our small roads have already cut into the land a little bit. Done some of the work. Just sort of smooth out some of these harsher hills. That should be good. Yeah, we'll get a little bit more zoning in and then work on this pier. See if we can line up our stuff. I'm sure we've got enough room. Can fit in some water outlets as well, like we did in the other tile. Worked out quite well for us over there, so it's more of the same. It's the general plan. But yeah, we're running out of room for more zoning. I'll just spend this episode sort of finishing off this tile, getting in our sort of feature area right down on the quayside. In the next episode we can look to purchasing a new tile, and we can extend our canal system. Again, it worked out quite well the first time round, so hopefully we can sort of repeat that success. Just want offices along here. Not going to risk having housing too close to the train line. That's another thing we have to sort out. The train line where it dips down to ground level. I think I'd be quite tempted to go with the tile on the left hand side That way I can rework the train track, continue the canals out. I'll let these guys come in, and then we'll get working on that quayside area. Forgotten to give them water. It's a classic move. Get a couple of pipes along here. It doesn't like going underneath where the train suddenly drops down. Doesn't like putting the pipes in with the mad slopes. Hopefully that's kind of covered everything we need. Let's pop more in if we have to. That's that lot grown in. We do have a couple more spaces I'm going to use up. Would like to get as close to the 700,000 in this tile. If we don't have enough room, we don't have enough room, but would be good. So we get a few things down here rather than just continuing the offices all the way down. We got a park in. Just get a few more offices in this space that we're not likely to use. But we'll leave some space free. Let's say our assets go right along the quayside, so we just need enough room to extend some small roads down. Got some space up the side here as well that I'm going to use. Pretty sure that's far enough away from the train track. As I say, we're going to sort that out in the near future anyway. I think that's all the space we've got available. We've got a little bit more up here. So we'll just try and fill this space that we've got. Yeah, I think that's it. And a little bit more along here. Try and really use up all the space we've got. Try and see how high the population can get before we have to get that next tile. I'm going to end the zone in there so we don't get too close to the noisy stuff. Rest of the city is looking fine. There's no major disasters happening. Obviously the industry's DLC stuff is still complaining, and that's not perfectly balanced, but when we add in another oil industry area, it's probably not going to help the balance, but that's what we want to do. So speed up the footage again to sort of 4 times speed, because this redevelopment, get these things in, took about half an hour real time. So I sped this sort of main section up with the bulk of the more boring work that we've done before. Just going to trim back the land so we can get our key in. Have to get the game going to let the water come in. Try and smooth out this land as well. Slightly different heights. Try and get it all smoothed out. And this can be our oil industry over on the left. And we get our park over on the right. It crashed once on me, so this is my second time round doing it. Too bothered because it gave me a chance to sort of get practice so I could size up where the different things go. So I established that the offshore oil rig needs this space on the end facing sort of sideways. And our zoo asset fits perfectly into one of the bays. So the shape of our quayside is fine. I'm just going to set up the oil industry area. We get the main building in. And that'll then let us place our asset. Lovely. So just one more asset that I rarely use. I'm trying to sort of fit everything in. So we've established this small oil industry area. It's just going to have one each of the processing plants, all the storage buildings, the main building. We can get in the maintenance building in the barracks. Don't need to have everything bunched together, but it's playing havoc with our terrain. Don't like these bulges in between the buildings. Get them a park to sort out the potential pollution. Fire station to get them covered, protected. We're going to get in a few of our eco outflow pipes. I'm going to move these assets so they're closer together, give us a little bit more room at the end, and tidy up the terrain. Because we're putting in a few of these, we're going to have to go up the river. We can take away a few of the no pollute outflow pipes and add a little bit more water into the river. Add a couple of water sources. That'll compensate for removing the water outlets that are putting water back into the river. Help keep everything even. So we're going to set up our park area, get our main gate in. The side gate, I was contemplating putting it across here, but that would mean having to take the fence across the road, which is a bit of a pain in the bum. I'm just going to get our area set up. Of course, move it is the greatest. You can just sort of line up a fence to go anywhere you like, and then move it to where you want it to go. It's a lot easier than messing about, trying to go directly along the road. So this can be the edge of our park area. Just get the fence run all the way down here. So we can have our park assets in here. It's only the one that we haven't placed before that we really need to get in, the sort of sea life centre. But we can place plenty of the other things in. There's no reason it has to be just the sea life centre. We can, like we did before with our park with a lake in it, we can have the water feature things over here as well. They sit really nice along the quays, so it's a good opportunity. Get really nice placement of these assets. Before this playthrough, I'd never used quays before. I'm just sort of placing things on shores. It would always mess up the terrain and it would be a hassle. It would always look pretty terrible. Yeah, quays are the way forward for sure. Looks a lot better. And the assets just snap straight to them. Had I known all my previous builds, I definitely would have used them. So we've got our Sea Life Centre in. I'm just going to pop in a few amusement park rides and things. And we can go through all the park menus. Get some more normal stuff, like the city park stuff. We can add all the souvenir shops and cafes and things like that, and the restrooms. Another little path along the back here. We can put some of the smaller assets on this path. Just make use of the room. Not going to have enough room for the roller coaster, but it's not the end of the world. Fairly massive. You should put that in first if you really want it. Yeah, I've already got one in the city. Doesn't bother me that much not to have a second one. Get a mixture of stuff in where it sits nice. Again, just a mixture of the different park assets from the Park Life DLC stuff. mixture of different things. But definitely a good time. Gonna put in plenty of these towers, viewing towers and viewing platforms, so people can get a good view out to sea of all the ships coming in and stuff. Don't really have a lot of room for the viewing platforms. They need quite a bit of space away from the quay itself. I'm going to try and make another path over here. It's going to come quite close to the fence. We don't want to give people free entry by letting it attach itself or connect up to the road. So I'm going to get it as close to the fence as we can, just so we've got room for these viewing platforms. I'm going to tuck them in. Yeah, perfect fit. Use 2 of each. And again, a few more of these towers. Give people a good view. Like these little bouldering sites. We'll get another one of these in. So yeah, a mixture of different things. Then we've also got our normal park things. Before the Park Life DLC, we had all these beautiful assets for the seaside. We'll get a few of these things in. We get a park maintenance building, so the parkies can keep it all in good shape. That's the main things done, the main area. Our water level's pretty low, so I'm going to try and find a place for another couple of pumps. Could be the case that there's just not enough water going back into the river. We'll take a few of these no pollute outflow pipes out, and we can add a few water pumps back in their places. So they're already set up on good places with nodes. And then we'll add a few more of the eco versions down here for the outflow. Get rid of the sewage. And we can add more water sources back into the river to help top it up. If it starts to look like it's running dry. Yeah, the water availability is going up and down. It means not all the pumps are getting water. So we're going to have a look at that in a minute. So finish off these areas where we've got our outflows. I like to put these garbage collectors in, minimize the sewage that's coming out. So we'll go find places where the water's looking particularly low. Yeah, it starts to get low here. So we'll just add a few of these in. Oh, it's really low here. Again, we're just using 0.03 water capacity. Just a really small amount. Put in a bunch of them. Try and sort out this river level. Lots of small ones is definitely the way forward. If you do get flooding, it's easier to remove 1 or 2 than it is to remove a massive water source and sort of start again. And a couple more just next to these pumps, make sure they're getting the water. Raise the water level a bit here. A lot of pumps here taking the water away. I'll let that run for a minute. See how we get on. Make sure there's no flooding. Yeah, generally looking good. Just got to keep an eye on these sort of things. Take away the sand here. I've forgotten to actually give them any oil. That might be a good plan. If we want our offshore oil rig to work. There we go. Its icon disappeared immediately. So we'll see how well that little area works. Like I say, we haven't overloaded it with pumps and things. So we'll see if less is more. That area doesn't have any complaints. After a while, we'll let it run. We can Add some rocks and vegetation and things over here. I don't think just a full blanket of trees is appropriate. So we'll go with rocks and foliage instead. Do a little sort of decoration. Make it look more natural, like the riverside and the quayside. Get some offices all the way along here. Not much else we can pop in, maybe put in a car park or two. Slightly too big. We can get it over here. Maybe just fill in that gap with offices after all. Yeah, it's coming together. Do a little more decoration. I think these rocks are too small. Need something slightly larger but not too big. We do have a range of sizes. Yeah, this is more the size I'm after. You can rotate them and intersect them with each other. Make interesting combinations so it doesn't look like the same asset over and over again. These ones are an alright size as well. Again, they intersect with the other ones, so that's fine. A little bit more random. Get some of the different vegetation types around about it. Again, I think this is better than putting in trees. Maybe add a couple of the small trees quite sparsely round about. I don't normally do detailing and that sort of thing, but why not? Want the area to look nice. Yeah, in this playthrough I'm trying to do things that I wouldn't normally do. A little bit of everything. We're getting there. A couple of these smaller ones, just the edges. Make the patches look a bit more natural. Stretch out, connect into each other sort of thing. I'll look and see if we can find some small trees that are unobtrusive. They sort of match the main industry building for our new oil area. For the look. Maybe get a couple of medium ones in up closer, further away from the edge. Let's sort of transition up to the larger trees up in our normal area. It's better than leaving it blank. Have the surface painter to start painting things in with concrete or anything. It's not a look I necessarily like. It's something I could do. Maybe when we're in the other tiles along the coast. That'll be something we'll give a go. I think I did use it a couple of years ago. So remember it did have different things, concrete, gravel, that sort of thing. Might be worth getting. Just add some finishing touches to this area. Next episode, when we come back, we'll just start off by getting that new tile. We can get working in there. That's us for the day. I'll let it all come in. We'll come back next time and pick up where we left off from. Until then, take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.